at the Grand Plaza Hotel when I arrived, still wearing my work clothes. A simple black turtleneck and jeans that probably cost more than my sister's designer dresses, though they'd never know it. "Oh look," my sister Diane's voice carried across the ballroom. "The maid's here. Did you come to clean up after the party, Catherine?" My other sister, Amanda, nearly choked on her champagne laughing. "God, she even dresses like the help. Still shopping at Target, Kathy?" I touched the fabric of my cashmere turtleneck, handcrafted in Italy, though without any obvious branding. The jeans were custom-made by a boutique designer in Japan. But fashion was never about quality for my sisters. Only labels and showing off. "Actually," I said quietly, "I came straight from work." "Work?" Amanda's perfectly shaped eyebrows rose. "Is that what you call it? Sitting in your little cubicle, writing code like some glorified typing pool girl?" If only they knew that my little cubicle was actually the entire top floor of the Phoenix Tech Tower downtown. That the code I wrote had revolutionized artificial intelligence and was now worth billions. That the company I'd built from scratch, Phoenix Software Solutions, was about to go public with a $2 billion valuation. "Something like that," I replied mildly, accepting a glass of champagne from a passing server. "Catherine," my mother's voice cut through the crowd. "Darling, couldn't you have dressed up? The Williamses are here. You know, the venture capital family? Their son Bradley is single." I bit back a smile, thinking about how Bradley Williams' firm had tried to invest in Phoenix Software last month. I'd turned them down. Their reputation for pressuring founders to exit early didn't align with my vision. "I'm not interested in dating right now, Mom," I said. "I'm focused on my career." "Career?" Diane snorted. "Please. Playing with computers isn't a career. Now Amanda, she has a real career. Junior partner at Morrison Law by 32. Amanda preened, adjusting her Gucci dress. "Not everyone can handle the pressure of big law, of course. Some people prefer simpler work." I thought about the pressure of running a tech company with over 500 employees. About the responsibility of managing projects that would shape the future of artificial intelligence. About the weight of knowing that my decisions affected thousands of lives. "We all find our level," I said diplomatically. "Speaking of levels," my father joined the conversation, martini in hand. "I heard your company is hiring. I could put in a word with the janitorial service. They always need computer people to fix the printers." My sisters erupted in laughter. I smiled, remembering the email I'd received that morning about Phoenix Software's latest contract with the Department of Defense. A $300 million deal that would revolutionize military cybersecurity. "Thanks, Dad, but we handle our own hiring." "We?" Amanda smirked. "You and your little coding friends in the IT department? How cute." Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. A message from my CFO. "Final IPO papers ready. Goldman Sachs predicts opening valuation might hit $2.5 billion. Need your sign-off." "Still can't put the phone down," my mother sighed. "This is why you're single, Catherine. No man wants a woman who's always typing away at her little computer games." Little computer games. Like the artificial intelligence platform we developed that was now being used by major hospitals to detect cancer in its earliest stages. Or the cybersecurity system protecting critical infrastructure across 3 continents. "I enjoy my work," I said simply. "Well, someone has to do the grunt work," Diane said condescendingly. "Not everyone can be successful like us. Did you hear about my promotion? Senior VP of Marketing at Henderson Corp." I had heard. Mainly because Phoenix Software provided Henderson Corp's entire digital infrastructure. Their CEO had been practically begging for a meeting with me for months. "Congratulations," I said sincerely. "How's the new digital transformation project going?" Diane's smile faltered slightly. The project, implementing Phoenix Software's systems across Henderson Corp, had been causing her department headaches for weeks. Of course, she had no idea she was complaining about my company. "It's proceeding," she said stiffly. "Though the tech people are impossible to deal with. So arrogant, thinking they know better than management about what the company needs." I thought about the detailed reports my team had provided, showing exactly how Henderson Corp's outdated systems were costing them millions. Reports that management had ignored in favor of flashy but ineffective solutions. "Tech people can be passionate about doing things right," I offered. "Please," Amanda waved her hand dismissively. "They're glorified mechanics. Now let me tell you about my latest case. I just made partner by winning a huge tech patent lawsuit. I smiled remembering that lawsuit. Phoenix Software had been the defendant, though Amanda didn't know it. We'd won the countersuit, but let her firm claim a minor victory on one small patent to avoid drawing attention to my connection. How's the new AI legal research platform working out at your firm? I asked innocently. Amanda's face clouded. The platform, another Phoenix Software product, had effectively replaced half of the firm's junior associates' research duties. It's efficient, she admitted reluctantly, though nothing can replace real legal expertise. Of course not, I agreed. Technology just helps focus human talent where it's most valuable. Speaking of value, my father cut in, your mother and I are concerned about your future, Catherine. All this computer stuff. It's not too late to get a real job. I know people at several reputable companies. I thought about the reputable companies that now depended on Phoenix Software's technology. About the fortune I'd built while they thought I was struggling in entry-level IT work. I'm happy where I am, Dad. Happy, my mother sighed. Darling, you live in that tiny apartment, drive that old car, never go on luxury vacations like your sisters. That's not happiness, that's settling. My tiny apartment was actually a penthouse that occupied the top 3 floors of an exclusive building I owned. The old car was a limited edition Tesla that cost more than Amanda's annual salary. As for vacations, I just returned from a month in Japan, meeting with tech innovators and exploring ancient temples. Different people want different things, I said. Yes, Diane smirked, and some people have to learn to want less. Not everyone can afford our lifestyle. Just then the ballroom doors opened and a group of people in casual but expensive clothes walked in. I recognized my lead developers headed by Sarah, my CTO. Miss Sullivan. Sarah called out, spotting me. Sorry to interrupt, but we need your immediate approval. The IPO valuation just hit $2 billion, and Goldman Sachs thinks we should accelerate the timeline. The room went suddenly quiet. My sisters froze mid-sip. My parents' jaws dropped simultaneously. Sullivan. Amanda stammered. I smiled, straightening my simple turtleneck. I think, I said quietly, we should discuss exactly what I do for a living. The silence in the ballroom was absolute. Sarah and my development team stood confidently, tablets in hand, completely oblivious to the social earthquake they just caused. 2 billion. My father finally managed, his martini tilting dangerously in his trembling hand. 2.5 actually with the latest projections, Sarah corrected, pulling up detailed charts on her tablet. The AI healthcare division alone is valued at nearly $1 billion. Miss Sullivan, we really need your decision on the Goldman timeline. Miss Sullivan? Amanda repeated weakly. Catherine Sullivan, I said clearly, founder and CEO of Phoenix Software Solutions. I turned to Sarah. Let's review the numbers in detail. As Sarah walked me through the IPO projections, I could see my family's world crumbling around them. Diane had gone pale, probably realizing that her impossible tech people at Henderson Corp actually worked for me. Amanda's perfectly glossed lips opened and closed silently as she likely connected the dots about her firm's mysterious patent case. This has to be a mistake, my mother finally burst out. Catherine works in IT. She fixes computers or something. Actually, one of my lead developers chimed in. Miss Sullivan developed the core AI algorithm that powers most of our systems. Her neural network design revolutionized machine learning. We're using it in everything from medical diagnostics to global security infrastructure. The neural, what? My father stammered. It's the technology that just won the National Science Foundation's Innovation Award, Sarah explained. Though Miss Sullivan couldn't attend the ceremony, she was meeting with the Defense Department about the new cybersecurity contract. I watched my sisters exchange panicked glances. Their computer nerd sister wasn't just successful, she was beyond anything they could have imagined. But your apartment, Diane protested weakly. That tiny place downtown. You mean the penthouse at the Phoenix? Sarah asked, confused. The building Miss Sullivan's company owns. Owns? My mother's voice had risen several octaves. Along with several other properties, I added quietly. Real estate can be a good investment when you understand technology trends. Amanda's legal instincts finally kicked in. The patent case, she said slowly. Last month, Phoenix Software was the defendant. I was arguing against your company. You did well on that minor patent, I assured her. We let that one go to avoid drawing attention to my involvement. The countersuit victory more than made up for it. Let it go. Amanda's face flushed as she realized the implications. You mean you could have won completely? Yes. But family complicated things. The Henderson contract, Diane whispered, horror dawning on her face. All those complaints I've been filing about the tech team. I've been complaining about your employees. Their arrogance was actually expertise, I confirmed. Those reports you ignored? They could have saved your department millions in implementation costs. My father had sunk into a chair, his martini forgotten. All this time, while we were offering to help you find real work. I was building one of the fastest-growing tech companies in the country. I finished for him. The computer games Mom worried about? They're saving lives in hospitals across the world. The grunt work you dismissed? It's protecting critical infrastructure from cyber attacks. Why didn't you tell us? My mother asked, her voice small. Would you have understood? Or would you have tried to push me into some respectable corporate job, bragging about connections that I didn't need? Sarah cleared her throat politely. Miss Sullivan, about the IPO timeline. Yes, of course. I turned back to the financial projections, but my father interrupted. Wait. The Williamses, Bradley's firm, did they try to invest in Phoenix? Yes. I turned them down. I smiled slightly. Their investment strategy didn't align with my vision for the company. You turned down the Williamses? My mother looked faint. But they're not as successful as your daughter, Sarah said proudly. Miss Sullivan's leadership style is actually being studied at several business schools now. The way she built Phoenix from scratch, focusing on innovation and ethical technology development. From scratch. Amanda interrupted. But that would take millions in startup capital. I bootstrapped it, I explained. Started with small consulting projects, reinvested everything. Never took outside investment. Never relied on family connections or name-dropping at parties. The car, Diane said suddenly. That old car you drive. The limited edition Tesla? Sarah asked. The one they custom-built for her after we developed their new battery management system? My sisters exchanged looks of pure dismay. All those years of mocking my cheap lifestyle, and I'd been living at a level they couldn't even comprehend. Miss Sullivan, another developer, approached with a tablet. The hospital in Singapore is reporting amazing results with the new diagnostic AI. Cancer detection rates are up 40% over traditional methods. I reviewed the data, genuine excitement pushing aside the family drama. Excellent. Schedule a team meeting for tomorrow. We need to fast-track the global rollout. The Maid, my mother whispered almost to herself. We called you the Maid. Well, I said, straightening my simple turtleneck. I did clean up quite nicely, didn't I? The next few hours were surreal. As news of Phoenix Software's IPO spread through the party, my family watched in shock as influential guests flocked to speak with me. The Williamses, who'd been politely distant earlier, now couldn't seem to leave my side. Catherine, my father approached tentatively as the party wound down. We've been so wrong. Yes, I agreed simply. You have. Can you ever forgive us? My mother asked, tears in her eyes. I looked at my family, really looked at them. Beyond the designer labels and social climbing, past the years of condescension and dismissal. They seemed smaller somehow, their world revealed as superficial and limited. Forgiveness isn't the point, I said finally. Understanding is. Understanding that success doesn't always wear designer labels. That intelligence doesn't need to announce itself. That true innovation comes from seeing beyond the surface. Over the next few months, things changed dramatically. Diane actually asked to learn about technology, admitting that her marketing strategies were outdated. Amanda approached me about implementing more advanced AI in her legal practice, this time with genuine respect for the technology. My parents, well, they're trying. Mom stopped trying to set me up with successful men, finally realizing that her definition of success needed updating. Dad asked to invest in Phoenix Software's IPO. I gave him a small friends and family allocation, enough to teach him about real value creation. The company continues to grow. Our medical AI is saving lives, our cybersecurity systems are protecting nations, and our innovations are pushing technology forward in ways my family never imagined possible while they were busy mocking my computer games. Last week, I found an old photo from my first days of coding me in a simple black turtleneck, working late in my tiny starter apartment. I keep it on my desk in the Phoenix Tower corner office, next to the Forbes cover featuring me as tech's quiet revolutionary. Sometimes the best revenge isn't in proving people wrong, but in proving yourself right. Success doesn't need designer labels or social validation. Sometimes it wears a simple black turtleneck and changes the world one line of code at a time. And if anyone ever suggests judging someone by their clothes or job title, they're quickly reminded of the day the Maid turned out to be a billionaire tech CEO. Though honestly, I prefer to be judged by the lives our technology has saved and the innovations we've created. After all, true success isn't about cleaning up at parties. It's about cleaning up the world's problems, one elegant solution at a time.